Good evening, everyone, and we will begin our January 19th special board meeting at 5:04. And we'll start off with 1.1, which is 1.2, roll call, please.
The safety and decorum of the school board meetings are important to Stockton Unified School District and the community. SUSD promotes the public's right to free speech, and we want to make sure that all community members, parents, and students are able to participate in a safe environment. We want to ensure all community members have a seat during the board meeting. We will have the maximum number of chairs allowed per Fire Code 132. We ask that members of the public do not stand along the side of the walls or block the walkway. Anyone standing up during the meeting will be asked to take a seat. If they do not comply, they will be asked to leave. Any accredited news media representative who is standing will have a pass credential clearly visible. The table is positioned in front of the first row of chairs. No one other than the person who is speaking may be at the table except for a guardian, administrator, or translator. For safety, people may not line up behind the speaker to wait their turn. We want to give the person at the table the time and respect they deserve. Each speaker will be allowed 3 minutes. Attendees are not allowed to enter the area past the table where board members are seated. No profanity or obscenity. During the board meeting, if there is disruption, the board president or designee will give a verbal warning to the person or persons causing the disruption. If the disruption continues after the verbal warning, the individual will be asked to leave or be removed from the premises for the remainder of the board meeting. After the meeting is concluded, we ask the community to clear the lobby area in a respectful manner. President Angel Ann Flores.
Thank you, Abby. We will move on now to item 1.3. Any oral suggestions from the public?
President Flores, I'm going to take roll call. So President Angel Ann Flores.
Sorry, roll call. Present.
Thank you. Vice President Kenitha Stevens.
Present.
Thank you. Clerk Sophia Colon.
Present.
Thank you. Trustee Donald Donaire.
Present.
Thank you. Trustee Cecilia Mendez.
Present.
Trustee Alicia Rico.
Present.
Trustee Ray Zulueta. Absent.
He's on his way.
On his way. Thank you. Student Rep Abby Welker.
Present.
Thank you. Back to you, President Flores.
Thank you, Ms. Abby. Moving on now to item 1.3. Any oral suggestions?
Yes, Madam President. Individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board. The board shall limit the total time for public input on each item to 20 minutes. We currently have 1 public comment for closed session items. And if I can have Mr. DeTwan Button approach the table, please.
Sorry, have a seat and then there you go. You have to push the button, sorry.
And hold it. Good evening. My name is DeTwan Bunton. I have served as the Director of Classified Personnel since October 1st of 2018. I was placed on administrative leave September 29th by Nancy Lane, former Assistant Superintendent of HR, who's decided to run because she knows that she built a charge package that's based on fallacies, not truth, and absolute lies. There's 3 distinct issues in the charge packet that she's built. And if an administrative law judge were to read this, there's going to be areas that are very, very problematic, especially, I don't know if you've seen the Skelly response letter. I would assure you, you didn't, because there isn't a Skelly response letter. I received a letter from Wendy that basically said that Dr. Suzanne Ramirez agrees with the district's decision. I should have received a Skelly response letter directly from Dr. Susanna Ramirez. I've worked with Dr. Baird several times on Skelly letters, and she always provides a letter in her own writing to vouch for the recommendation that she's providing. I wasn't given that. On September 16th, when I met with Nancy Lane to discuss the electronic PAs, she never advised me that that meeting was going to be disciplinary. If I had been a bargaining unit member, that would have been an unfair practice charge. Number 3 in the charge packet says that Tanya Copeland reached out to me for an issue with an employee that was pulling an AC fuse. She said that I didn't do my job. I don't see a statement from Tanya Copeland that says I didn't do my job. In fact, I'm the one who met with the employee. I'm the one who put that employee on administrative leave, and I'm the one who drafted his charge packet for termination. So if she's willing to lie about any piece of the charge packet, she's willing to lie about all of it. In addition to that, she says that I submitted an electronic PA to receive compensation that I wasn't entitled to. In fact, the PA was sent to another employee that person forwarded to payroll. My intent was for that electronic PA to be sent to Nancy for her to consider an additional duty stipend for me for assuming the duties from Claudia Moreno, who was the former Director of Labor Relations. She was laid off effectively July 1st of 2021, and those duties were given to me. On at least 3 occasions, I gave her paper PAs to consider additional duty stipend. She never did anything with it. Right before September 1st, I believe, she emailed all of our classified labor unions, letting them know that I am now in charge of negotiations. As the Director of Classified, I am not the lead negotiator for the district. But in the charge packet, it says I can lead the negotiations, which I have never received any training, never received any input in terms of being the lead negotiator for the district. On June 15th, my oldest son was murdered in Sacramento. I informed Nancy Lane of that. 2 days later, I was still directed to lead negotiations with 821. The following
Time,
week,
Mr. Bunton. Thank you. This concludes the public comment for closed session.
Okay, moving on to item 1.4, public employee discipline dismissal release. And this is only if we have any employees requests that complaints or charges be heard in open. Ms. Diane, do we have any?
My understanding is that there are no charges that are pending or any hearing at this point in time on behalf of such employees. No.
Okay, moving on to item 1.5, the board will consider in closed session items listed in closed session by Vice President Stevens.
Certificated. Conference with labor negotiator, District Chief Agency Negotiators, Tracy E. Miller, Interim Superintendent, and Wendy D. Simone, Interim Assistant Superintendent, Human Resources, Employee Organizations, STA, CSVA 821, CSVA 318, CSVA 885, SUSU, SPPA, Police Officers Association, USA, NUHW, and non-represented employees. Also 2.3, public employee discipline, dismissal, and release. And 2.4D, student suspensions, Z through 13, Z through 20, ZZ7, ZZ8.
Item 1.6, we will now recess to closed session. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for hanging out and waiting for us. We will now begin public session at 7:12. We will start off with a Pledge of Allegiance led by Mr. Nate Haley, Administrator on Special Assignment. Okay, we're going to now move on to item 4.2, which is action taken in closed session by Vice President Stevens.
So I'm reporting, we made a motion to approve 2.1 public employee certificated, motion passed 4-1. Trustee Flores voted yes. Vice President Stevens, yes. Clerk Sophia, yes. Trustee Donaire, yes. Trustee Mendez, no. Trustee Rico, no. Trustee Zulueta, abstain, 4-1. No action taken on 2.2. And 2.3, no reportable action.
Thank you. Moving on now to item 4.3 is the approval of order of agenda. Is there anybody up here that would like to make any changes or suggestions to the order of agenda? Now is your time. Full items. Okay. Moving on to item 5.5. Christina, is that you, Christina? Do we have any public?
Yes,
Comments?
Madam President. We currently have 4 public comments regarding open session items. And the first person would be for Brenda Vasquez. Ms. Vasquez, would you approach the table, please?
Good evening, board. Rescheduled of board meetings. Angel Ann has repeatedly critiqued previous presidents for calling special board meetings and changing meeting dates. The organizational meeting in December is set up to approve the meetings for the year. We are already prepared to have meetings for the year. Why is she changing the meeting dates and what is her agenda?
The next public speaker is Kathleen Castellanos. Please approach the table.
Good evening. My name is Kathleen Castellanos. I was hired in 1976 as a substitute teacher with Stockton Unified School District. And then I was hired permanently in November of 1977 at Walton Special Center. I was asked to teach at different schools, not only Stockton Unified, but Lodi Unified, Manteca, Tracy, Modesto, all over San Joaquin County and in Stanislaus. And I said, no, I wanted to work with Stockton Unified School District. So I got hired as a special education development assistant at Walton Special Center, which was called Walton Development Center. Then it changed to Walton Special Center. My experience is really, really good. And I began doing transitioning with special needs children. The first one was at Temple Israel. They were to report to on the bus. They were picked up at their home on the bus, and then they were transported to Temple Israel. And then I met them there, and we did the program there at Temple Israel. 2 students. Then I made sure they were on the bus, did the program there at Temple Israel. Then they went on the bus home, and I reported back to Walton Special Center as my home base. I also did this at San Joaquin Delta College. I also did this transitioning at St. Basil's here in Stockton, the Greek Orthodox Church, and then at Creative Childcare, Head Start. So then I moved on to other programs. And what I'm letting you know is that we need more communication with board members and more training with the needs of special children. And as myself, special education development assistant. So, one, more training. Two, more communication. So I worked at those different schools, and then from there, I went on to Cleveland Elementary School, transitioning with, oh. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak at this board meeting. Thank you.
The next public speaker is Paolo Enriquez. Please approach the table.
This is pretty similar to 11.2 from the December meeting, the exceptions being that the cap on compensation was previously 261,000 and now it's 174,000. And instead of the contract running until June 30th, 2023, it will only go up to April 30th, 2023 if the amended agreement is approved. So 2 months of service were shaved off and the cost was lowered by 87,000. And I'm assuming these changes were to address the concern that the previous amount was too high. But I think a key question to ask now is, will this enable the district to fill the vacancies in HR before the contract with Tri-Group ends? Tracy Miller mentioned that there aren't really candidates available for assistant soup of HR right now because most are already under contract. So if now is not the ideal time for recruitment, when is? The motion to approve the amendment failed with 3 noes and 2 abstentions last time. And I think what that shows is that there is a level of unease with the district's reliance on contractors, and that it is not enough to say that something is a need without articulating just how dire that need is. Because when the board is told by Dr. Miller that there are new employees that are doing the work inside of HR, and it's imperative that they are getting expert advice so that they're able to make decisions that abide with ed code and union contracts, the board may think, okay, the staff in HR needs some guidance here and there, but otherwise they're in good shape and we should just save this money to put someone in this position full-time, not a contractor. But if the actual situation is that the department is unable to carry out key functions without this assistance, then the creator of this agenda item needs to communicate that plainly. Say exactly what the HR department will be unable to do without the help of Tri-Group. Thank you.
The next speaker is Harpreet Shima. Please approach the table.
Hello, so this was for the same item. So according to a letter from the County Office of Education that was sent last year on October 20th, the county has, quote, lost confidence in the accuracy of the actual financial data and the projections for various reasons, end quote. And hopefully everyone here has a copy of that letter. And so you all know what the rest of it says. But my question is just this, since it seems like we have some uncertainty around the budget, and I assume it's not all been figured out already. And I understand that our staff are understaffed and there are vacant positions, or folks need help, and so consultants are necessary at this moment. But is there a budget in place for hiring these additional consultants and for the remainder of this year? So hopefully we know, like, we're not overspending on consultants. And would it be possible to share that just so we as the public know that we're not also overspending in this area, and so we can just stop commenting on this issue going forward if everything looks okay? And is there is there a reason we're continuing to hire just interim positions in HR and other places? And seems like we're filling them with people that might not be fully qualified. Are these jobs properly listed? Are we getting no applicants or just unqualified applicants? Yeah, these are just some questions that would be great to have to shine some light on for everyone else. Thank you.
Madam President, this concludes the public comments.
Moving on to item 6.1, approval of consent items, and Christina will read the oral announcement.
Does any trustee have any item they would like to remove for separate consideration as an action item? After any items are removed for separate consideration, there will be a vote on the consent items without any discussion. Back to you, Madam President.
Any discussion? Questions? Okay. Roll call. I motion to approve the consent items.
Second, Stevens.
Okay, roll call vote.
Student Rep Welker,
Yes.
thank you. President Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Stevens,
Yes.
Clerk Colon,
Yes.
Trustee Donaire,
Yes.
Trustee Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Okay, and now we're going to move on to item 7.1, which is a presentation by Ms. Melinda Mesa, Director of Communications, Marketing, and Media Relations. I wish Kathleen would have stood because then she would have seen that we are addressing the communication needs for our public community. Can somebody let her know that we're doing a presentation so she doesn't miss it? Yeah, thanks.
And it was wonderful that I had a chance to talk with her during closed session too. And
Before
she
you
was
jump
able
in,
to-
I just wanted to address the board. As you know, we used to have an Olympic gold medalist in our district. Remember Andre Phillips? Right. So we had, and so we also have an Emmy award-winning someone, and that is Miss Melinda Mesa. So I just wanted to let you all know that.
Thank you very much. What a warm welcome. And can you believe I'm nervous? I used to talk in front of millions of people, but I'm very nervous here tonight. Why?
Can you all hear her in the back? Is the
Can
microphone
you
on?
with this microphone? Thank you very, very much. Well, it is an honor to be here. Good evening, Board President Flores, Vice President Stevens, Clerk Cologne, Board of Trustees, our cabinet, Dr. Tracy Miller, Interim Superintendent, and the fine community of Stockton. It is my pleasure to be here and an honor to share with you what the Community Relations Department does, what we strive for, and our goals to move forward for the students and staff of the Stockton Unified School District. You can applause if you would like. Or laugh. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, communication. Now, communication is one of the most important things we could do out of this department. Every parent has the right for good communication regarding their child and their children. One of the main roles of this department is emergency communication. Just last week, the district had to cancel classes due to storm damage and power outages. We wanted to make sure we communicated with families and staff as soon as possible in order to give families time to prepare and make arrangements. We have many working families in our district, and that is valuable. We used our Blackboard all-call system to call families, send mass emails and texts to families. We put information on social media, and we drove families to our website for the latest, accurate, and vetted information. We work closely with local emergency officials, and we make sure we have the most current information. We also added a banner to each school website so a parent could click on that banner and you would be directed directly to our main SUSD website. And I could tell you in last week, we had 63,000 visits during the storm to our website. And that's why it is so important that it's current and factual and kept up. The role of this department and the role of a public information officer is important to safety and to preventing panic. We give correct, concise information. Experience, all of our contacts, help with getting information quickly and accurately so we could inform our staff and our families. We are educated and trained in emergency communications. So I would like to present our slide. The department is aligned with the mission of the school district to graduate every student college, career, and community ready. And in doing so, we lift youth out of circumstances of poverty and scarcity. And I'd like to introduce our team. I'm the Director of Communications. I'm also the Public Information Officer, Marketing and Media Relations. I have 24 years experience as a journalist with a background in education and an additional degree in Mexican American Studies. Our webmaster is Justin Swenson. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here tonight, but he's with us in spirit and he's watching. He has been with the district for 6.5 years and takes pride in keeping the website looking sharp and updated. He comes to SUSD with a computer science degree, and he's a valuable part of our communication team. Our executive assistant for is Abby Rodriguez. She is here tonight, but she's working away in that room back there. Miss Abby, wave. She has been with the district for more than 15 years, and she brings a business administration degree. Her experience here and her knowledge and her professionalism is greatly appreciated. Not only with our department, but the whole school district. Miss Abby is wonderful. Now, here's a look of some of what we do. Emergency communication, vital as parents and community have the right to know. We work with site principals to write communication to families. It could be something like a gas order at a school site. I remember this happened not too long ago, and we needed to inform families right away that their students were removed from the classroom, put on a field. We had PG&E and fire officials come and check the site. They deemed it was safe. It was not a gas leak, but we just wanted to communicate to parents like, here's what happened today. They are safe. And that, again, prevents panic. I'm a mother, and I appreciate communication like that as well. Media relations, which is important and can help out to give information quickly to a mass audience. It's also a way we can share some of our positive stories here at Stockton Unified School District. Again, we use our media contacts to get information on school closures. An example, just last week during the 6 o'clock news, we had everything ready to go. And as soon as we got the okay, boom, we sent it out. They had it on the air. It was live. We appreciate that help. We also write press releases and statements on behalf of the school district. We make sure our statements are legal and factual. We also assist with public records requests through the media, knowing the importance of timely and factual information. We also help with district events such as ribbon cutting ceremonies, booth at community events. We look over our SUSD website, social media to include Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and internal communications for teachers and staff, community relations to include community conversation events. Now, this is where Interim Superintendent Dr. Tracy Miller engages with the community, answers questions, promotes dialogue. She has been to several area schools so far, and students and parents have both participated. Our next community conversation is January 31st for Area 2 schools. So we know Board President Flores will be there with her school sites. Now, we also do special projects, which could include surveys or highlighting special departments. Currently, we are working with the CTE department. That's our career technical education. We are putting together videos, not only about letting students know what is offered at SUSD, they do offer quite a lot, but showcasing some of their fine work. We're talking auto shop, construction, building trades, quite a few things that you would be very impressed. Spoiler alert, CTE classes will be working on building tiny homes, which serves this city well. And I promise you, we will have more information on that coming up. And last but not least, your story. A story a student has to tell, a story a teacher has to tell, a story community member, one of our SUSD community members, a story a board member has to tell. We are here, we are capable of telling your story, and we want to do that. Now, SUSD website, it's a very important communication tool for us. During emergencies, we direct to the main website. There was also a place where we highlight events and celebrate achievements and tell the stories of our 54 schools. In the last 2 years, the site has received more than 2 million views. And then the services include 21,000 web pages at 55 sites. The webmaster, he provides training to principals and departments and makes sure each site is updated. We also audit district website pages to make sure we are in ADA compliance for the Office of Civil Rights. The webmaster also, he posts the board meeting recordings the very next morning after each board meeting. Videos, our YouTube channel hosts our videos. A video is placed just last week about the storms, had more than 8,000 views in less than 12 hours. Our story on this building's namesake, Mr. Arthur Coleman Jr. had more than 2,000 views within 24 hours. Another story here on the Cesar Chavez Mariachis, more than 2,000 views. We have increased our viewership of video tremendously, and we can compare to about a year and a half ago of hundreds of views to thousands of views. Social media is powerful, and we add urgent updates. We share photos of events, and sometimes we're treated to some of the photos of our fine students. Here is a recent example of the white coat ceremony at Health Careers Academy. Students going into the health and medical fields received their first white coat. And then we recently did a story at the Martin Luther King celebration at Pulliam Elementary School. Instagram, our viewership has grown on Instagram. Here's a picture of our page. You'll notice we combine the flyers with information, video, photos from school sites, photos from events. It's colorful. It's a way we can engage with our community and our families. We monitor our outreach. For example, a job posting received more than 7,000 views. A graduation requirement forum received thousands of views. A weather update, 4,000 views on that page. MLK video, hundreds of views. We use Twitter as well, and news stations have agreed to retweet for us. And that's a good communication tool, especially during an emergency. And then Peach Jar is our flyer distribution. It can be emailed to families that have provided their emails. So we can send out a flyer to 40,000 households within minutes. And so we have that ability as well. And then next, I would like to talk about our department goals. To facilitate open communication with students, families, and SUSD staff and community. To maintain and enhance crisis communication plans, where when we find holes, like we did during emergency, we fill it. We make sure, okay, we could do that better. And so we have these plans in place and we follow through with them. And to keep our website updated, and we will have weekly checks. And then your stories, part of our goal is to tell more stories of students and teachers and staff and what we're doing. Our students are doing great things. We want to showcase it. We will showcase it. And then to visit school sites and share what's going on at campuses. The webmaster and I have made a schedule with the goal to get out to each of our school sites, and you will be seeing new photos of the sites on our webpage each week. And then professional development, the school public relations training and professional development. We work with the California School Public Relations Association and the National School Public Relations Association. I have served on panels during trainings. We will continue to train, attend workshops locally and in the state, and make sure we are a professional and effective communication school for the Stockton Unified School District. In the past year and a half, we have built solid relationships in the community. We continue to enhance this. We work with the Emergency Operations Office, with Sheriff's Department, Police Department, media, public information officer groups here in the county, and the San Joaquin County and the state. Student learning and achievement at the forefront. And my personal goal to you, Board of Trustees, is to give my best, to do our best, to highlight our students and staff and our community, and to tell your story and to tell it well. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you, Melinda. That was a good presentation. We appreciate that. So we asked Melinda to come and present because we understand communication is very important. It was one of our priorities, which is why she's our first presentation. And we will be going forward. So I hope this is our first step to showing public that we do plan on being open and transparent with the decisions that we make as a board, and letting you know that we're here to earn your trust, right? We know that there have been some untrusting decisions that have been made, but going forward, we hope to be in the community more in a positive light. We hope to be able to available to answer the questions as we can, right? There are some things that we can't always give information about, but we hope to give it as much as possible when we can, as our legal stance can. Okay, so thank you, Ms. Melinda, one more time.
Can I have the microphone?
Go ahead.
And Ms. Melinda Mesa, I would like to thank you for every work that you have done. And thank you for working with people, you know, especially from board members. You did a terrific job, especially taking care of the reputation of this institution, not just public education, but all of us who are here. Thank you for your service. I salute you.
I just have a question. So I first want to thank you for everything. I think we have a lot of positive stories that are going out about the district. But I would also like to know, so how do we use these stories to do a couple of things? How do we really share student achievement outside of just the Stockton community? And then how do we also use these stories to drive new hires? Because we know EdSource will put out a story, it's not positive about the district, but how do we put out some great stories that talks about like the value that we have, the quality of education that we have? How do we do a lot more and broaden the reach?
Like Nike says, we just do it. It's time. It's time we do that. And we have a lot of positive stories to share. You know, COVID affected us all where we weren't able to go out to sites. We weren't able to, you know, join children in classrooms, but that has all changed now. It's lifted, although we're still very safe. It's time to tell those stories and to share them with the community. And so, like I said, we just do it. It's time. We're doing it. We just do it.
I also have a quick question. Thank you so much again for your presentation. How can, as a board, we kind of preview maybe a content calendar, if there is one that maybe we can contribute to, if we know you're looking for a particular story and we're visiting a school site and we run into that student, how can we set a process where we can send that to you?
Absolutely. And we would appreciate that. I know we put together these Friday notes of like what we're working on, what each department's working on and events coming up. So that's one thing we do, like, oh, we know about this Martin Luther King event or this tribute to the Cleveland Elementary School. So that's one way, an email, or we could get even like a Google calendar, like these are the events I know of. We have sent emails to principals saying like anything going on at your school, let us know. We'll get out there. And if we can't, we'll find a way to, sometimes people share pictures with us. We want to highlight, we know there's some competitions coming up for robotics and for different departments. And we have a calendar for the month of February set. Doesn't mean it can't be changed, but we have, it's CTE month. So we have the auto shop at certain schools set up. We have ag story set up. I'm going to keep hounding him about the tiny homes because I think that's an awesome story. And I think that would actually go national. So that's a great thing. Anytime there's a story you would like to see, please send it our way. And I think we could work together with that. And also we could send you like weekly updates, like here's what we're working on. Because sometimes there's, you know, ideas, you'll see, oh, there's this story, but did you know that one of our counselors actually helped start this? Or it's Women's History Month. Did you know that Mr. Mata is a teacher and his grandmother was a part of this school start? So things like that. We have a lot of great stories in Stockton Unified. Thank you.
And then also, if I can make a request, I love that we're in communications with our crisis management officials. Can I suggest now that we reach out to like our nonprofit organizations and our I know United Way has a lot of, you know, businesses under them. And, you know, there's just a lot of community organizations out there that are stakeholders that have stepped away from us in the last 2 years or so. And we would like to bring them back. Let's have a stakeholder invite meeting, you know, just so that we can improve those communications with our community and our stakeholders again. I think that would be a bonus to our communications department. And that would be greatly appreciated.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh. Yes, please do.
As a student firsthand on campus, I know things that go on, good things that go on campus. So I was wondering, can I happen to email you about good things that go on campus? As a plus leader, I do Titan fairs monthly, every other week. So to have like a representative come, it would be really nice.
We would love that. Thank you. I'm counting on receiving some emails from you.
I will.
Okay, and I'm forwarding it to the Board of Trustees to hold you accountable. Okay, we will see you out at the school sites. Thank you so much to all of you. And we look forward to, like I said, just doing it and pushing forward. And it's time. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to 10.1 for board committee reports, and Christina will read the oral announcement and announce each board committee for a report.
This is the opportunity to hear any report from board committees specifically regarding prior or upcoming committee meetings. There will be a 3-minute limit per report. The first report will be from Trustee Donald Denaire for the City of Stockton Parks and Recreation Committee.
Hi, everyone. I actually don't have a report ready for you tonight, but I do want to recommend, with all the storm damages in these past few weeks, to please visit the City of Stockton for updates around the storm, for resources, information, especially regarding reporting potholes and other fallen down trees. So sorry about that. And I will have a report ready for you next time. Thank you.
The next report is from the San Joaquin County School Boards Association Executive Committee by President Flores.
And I have resigned my position as CSVA delegate and given my position over to Trustee Donald Denaire. And he is very intelligent when it comes to policies, and he's really great at understanding, reading them, and proceeding. So I'm going to relinquish my time to Mr. Denaire, and he can talk about maybe our CSBA meeting last week.
Yes, so sorry, it's actually part of my my brief report for trustee activities. But I did want to mention that I was part of a webinar on January 12th about it was the California School Board Association's governor budget breakdown. Some big takeaways that I got was that I think this is the first time that the governor has for education, because of the declining enrollment, a lot of the budget is much smaller than it was before. That's all I can share for now, but the webinar is available on YouTube if you just search up California School Board Association Governor Budget Breakdown. Thank you.
The next committee is for the 3x3 committee presented by Clerk Colon.
We haven't yet met, but I'm really looking forward to it. So I believe it's in March. I'll have the date next time.
The last committee would be the 1852 Foundation Committee presented by Vice President Stevens.
Sure. 1852, our first meeting is Monday, January 23rd at 5 p.m. here. We would love to see you all come out. So we'll be taking applications regarding grants for our school sites to improve them. So where there's not funding for schools, we hope to have more. We'll also be holding our fundraiser. So look forward to that, but we would love to see you all out on Monday at 5 o'clock here in the boardroom. Thank you.
That concludes our board committee reports. Moving on to item 10.2, brief reports on trustee activities, and Christina will read the oral announcement.
This is an opportunity for each trustee to make a brief announcement or to give a brief report on their own recent activities at the district pursuant to the Brown Act, Government Code Section 54954.2A3. There will be a 3-minute time limit per report. Back to you, Madam President.
Okay, we'll go ahead and start to my left. Trustee Cecilia Mendez.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to inform you that in McKinley, we did have a succeed in with our 3x3 committee before when I was there. I was able to go in and secure the area across the street from McKinley with several parents. We were around 13 maybe or 14. With the children are more, but we went to city council. We were received very positive with open arms. After that, I placed myself in San Joaquin in the middle of the week, concerned about the flooding and everything there. Also, I wanted to inform you that I sat down with several teachers who are very concerned. As a matter of fact, I sent an email to the president of SDA concerned about the flooding, emergency programs, when even teachers don't have electricity in the house, concern about the daycare for the children, the parents, and many mothers who they walk with the strollers with the babies, and concern about the floodings in areas, especially staff. And it is really bad in some areas there. Anyway, we did have a very good meeting with the parents, and we will meet again with a couple people from City Council who are very willing to sit down with us and have monthly coffee meetings. Thank you and take care.
Go ahead, Trustee Zuleta.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. I just want to say, it's a real rough last couple of weeks that we've been having. I've received quite a few phone calls from our parents in the area. Some saying thank you just for, the school district, being on our toes and being able to support. And others that were a little upset because they had never seen a shutdown like this in the history of Stockton in terms of what, they remember. And so there were some upset parents that, were looking for just an understanding as to how, when we move forward and as we move forward, we can address some of the infrastructure issues within our schools that we know have been outstanding, so that in the future we don't have these shutdowns and these kind of issues, because we know that for a lot of our students, our schools are the most important and safest places in their lives. Thank you, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Trustee Zuleta. Trustee Rico.
Good evening to all, and a happy new year. I just want to share with you guys that I was part of the white coat ceremony at Hill Career Academy on January 6th. And thank you, Melinda, for being part too and be present there. Also, I've been meeting with some parents from Fillmore School, and I just wanted to let you know if there's some way that someone can go there and talk to the parents about the remodelation, about the portables, because that was the main question that they've been asking me about the portables. So I had no idea what's going on there. And also I want to thank to those teachers who is working really hard at Franklin High, for those students who've been out of the track, but now they're pulling out, and I'm so happy for them, especially for those students who have been reclassified and recognized with a bilingual, I can say this, because they fluent in English now. So I'm so happy for them, and especially I wanted to thank to those parents who been at the front line to be made this possible. Thank you.
VP Stevens.
Thank you. So this is kind of a busy month. I first want to thank the staff of Stockton Unified during the storms. We've all probably suffered some type of way. Marcus Omlin and Tracy and Melinda and the rest of the crew, facilities, you all were on it to make sure that our families were safe. I think the flooding was horrendous all across. I know several days I've actually reported flooding in front of my own house. I couldn't get out of my house, thought that I was going to need a paddle boat. I was really nervous at the moment. But the floods were extremely dangerous. Trees down at all of the parks. It was a really tough time, but SUSD stepped up and made it happen for our kiddos. So I'm extremely happy that we had a team that was ready. They were working overtime, working on Sunday. We were on calls on Sundays and late in the evening time. So there was a lot of work to ensure the safety of everyone across Stockton Unified. I also had a chance to attend the graduation forums. I want to say that we're doing some great work. I know Mr. Biederman is not here, who was leading the charge that evening over at Stagg High School. Tamara was actually there. Joe Martinez was there. Tom was there as well. We have a rock star group of educators, and I don't think they get enough praise for the work that they actually do. This stuff that Stockton Unified is doing is really, really awesome for our students, for their success. Trustee Rico talked about the reclassification. We're embarking on a new journey. To all of you ladies here, to Chief, thank you for the work. This is a lot of work that we're lifting up. I saw the team out there. They stayed with us until like 7:30. Even though it was over, we still had conversations about how do we support as school board members to ensure that all of our students are succeeding across the board and making sure that there are lots of opportunities, because we talk about being college and career ready, but what is the efficacy and the work that we're putting behind that? And we see that work being led by a rock star team. And I just want to say thank you for the work. I'm also a parent. I've been an advocate. I've been a school site council, PTO, PTA, all of that good stuff. We're doing some great stuff, and these are the stories that we need to lift up. As soon as that data is made public, we would love for it to go across the nation, because we are doing great things. So I would say, pat yourselves on the back. Stockton Unified, we are something special. If you don't know, we are something special. And if people don't tell you, we are, and I want to tell you, I'm probably pushing my time. I also went to the event over at Pulliam. Thank you, Francine. It's the African American Parent Advisory Committee, and to your team. You all did a rock star job on Friday and then also on Saturday. If you all were not there, you missed some amazing, amazing events. It showed the cultural diversity that we represent. We know Stockton to be the melting pot, but that showed up and showed out on Friday over at Pulliam School. And to the principals who are not here, they did a phenomenal job. Thank you.
All right. So I echo a lot of what my VP Stevens has said as far as, you know, the way we handled the weather. Yeah, I heard mostly good reactions to us closing down. I can't tell you that I heard even more than 2 complaints about us shutting down. The response was that we saved a lot of accidents from happening, right? Because we didn't have to send people out there driving around. It was not a light decision. Like we really outweighed everything, all aspects. We understand that schools are a safe place for our kids. We understand it's probably where they get a meal, like to that level. We took that seriously, but we want to make sure that we are ready in case the way the weather was telling us, we were ready, and we wanted to be ready for that. We didn't want to have our kids in our school sites with downed trees and flooding and sandbags all over. Like, we want to make sure that, and it also allowed us to find our weaknesses, right? So now we know where our weaknesses are at. We know where there were some work orders that were behind that we really need to get on and how it can go. And then facilities, yes, facilities really stepped up. Chief and her team stepped up. I heard that they were out at sites doing site assessments too with admins. And we also had managers and directors that were here, you know, in meetings and figuring it all out. So kudos to you guys all. And then yes, we apologize for the meetings and the special board meetings. We did not want to do that way. We were kind of forced to have a special board meeting because we still had business to do, right? We still have to take care of business. And so in order to alleviate one board meeting from being heavy, because unless you guys want to stay here till midnight with us, I mean, we could have did that too, but we want to think about you as well, who all sit here with us in these meetings. And so that's why we had today's special board meeting. So no personal agenda, just a need that what we needed to do to handle district business. And if you guys have any questions as to why we're doing it, I'm open. Call me. call our superintendent, call our VP. We are here to answer to you. If we can't answer those questions, we'll tell you we can't answer that, but please trust us to know that our agenda is student achievement. Our agenda is to make sure that all staff feel appreciated, respected, and qualified in their positions that they want to do, okay? Because we are here to serve. I don't know anybody who is not here to serve our kids, right? And as a trustee, right, I got to visit 6 of my schools. Sorry, I got to visit 6 out of 8 of my schools to check on them. So I'm still trying to visit my schools as much as possible. It's busy. We've been busy, okay? Trustee Cologne.
Thank you. So I just want to echo, thank you. I just want to echo what each of my trustees have said. Each have said, mentioned the hard work that has been done this month in all areas. So I thank you for bringing it up. I wish I had that same spunk and personality as VP Stevens. I might want to turn my time over, have you write and speak for me. Yeah, she's very, very energetic. I love it. And it's just one of the reasons why I'm excited to be a trustee. I know we are each doing our best, right, in and day out in all the jobs that we hold. So thank you for that. To that end, I'm really learning a lot. So this month, I'm kind of doing a catch up, making my own schedule, balancing, making sure I'm balancing my work and my trustee position. And just learning a lot as a new board member. Recently attended a training for new board members on the Brown Act, which is something that's very important. So I'm learning all the details. I'm excited now to kind of transition and to visit schools. So I will definitely be talking to some principals and teachers and students and getting my foot in the door that way. So thank you.
Cleveland remembers the first school shooting. Really heartbreaking, but there's also been some beauty that came out of that particular experience. To the officers that were there and to the families, like a lot was lost within that transition, but so much beauty just to get us to a point where we have the Children's Museum came out of that particular experience. And the last thing, I too received training on how to be a better board member, and I love Stockton Unified, so I'm excited about my role as a board member.
And we also have an officer who was part of the Cleveland, Officer Sergeant Young. Yes, he loves to tease me all the time. Trustee Donald.
Okay, I wish I knew the time. It's right in front of me. I can't see it, but I'll be quick. So I just want to start off with some of the things that happened in December. I don't know if it was mentioned, sorry if I missed it, but December 16th, CSVA Chapter 821 had an end of the year barbecue. Thank you so much for inviting trustees and superintendent. Superintendent Miller got us caroling and it was really fun. And the tri-tip was really great. Thank you. Some other school events that I was a part of, I did visit January 14th, the SUSD Forum on High School Graduation Requirements at Franklin High School. Shout out to Brian Biederman and accompanying staff for giving us the information. I'm really excited to see where that conversation goes. Again, shout out to the folks at African American Black Parent Advisory Committee and ELOP about the Martin Luther King Jr. Day celebration. That was really beautiful. And shout out to the students who performed that day as well. I did my first school visit at Weber Institute. I met with Principal Zarif. He gave me a tour, even gave me a free shirt. I really appreciate that. And then 4 days after that, I went to the parent coffee hour and met with some of the parents. I do want to bring up that there was a lot of student safety concerns that they were bringing up. I will prepare more about that in the next meeting and talk to the folks that I need to talk to so I can see their issues being addressed. Stockton Unified School District Education Appreciation Night at Stockton Kings game. That was really beautiful. What a beautiful weekend to really start off this February's Black History Month. I also went to the 34th anniversary Cleveland Elementary School shooting. I really appreciate how they uplifted the Southeast Asian community who have been impacted and also others who have been impacted by gun violence. January 18th, I went to the town hall on water hosted by Congressman Josh Harder, who were accompanied by Restore the Delta and other state officials. I think it's really important that folks pay attention to how state, regional, and federal efforts on making sure that we have the resources to really make sure that we get through these storms that are really ramping up now because of climate disaster. There was also, just want to point out a point that was made, 70% of kindergarten students will go through major flooding event by the age of 25. And I think that's very alarming. That's very important to us here because of our students. So I just want to uplift that data. I was also part of the San Joaquin County Office of Education new board member workshop. That was really nice to be a part of that training with other school boards in the county. And then lastly, I've also joined a group called Public Schools 101 for new school board trustee. Thank you so much.
Thank you. As you can see, we've been busy. We want to make sure that we are doing a good job to serve our Stockton Unified School students so that we have many more of student reps up here with us, right? Okay, moving on to item 10.3, approval to lift Stockton Unified School District spending freeze on sponsorships. Can I get a motion?
I motion to lift the freeze on spending for scholarships.
I'll second. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Student Rep Welker.
Yes.
Thank you. President Flores.
Yes.
Vice President Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Colon.
Yes.
Trustee Donaire.
Yes.
Trustee Mendez.
Yes.
Trustee Rico.
I'm saying,
Trustee Zulueta.
No.
Motion passes 5-1 with Trustee Zulueta voting no and Trustee Rico abstaining. Thank you.
If you have any questions in regards to any of these items, you are more than welcome to ask, okay? Moving on to item 10.4, approval of expenditures for Stockton Unified School District board members to attend the 2023 National Association of Bilingual Education Conference in Portland, Oregon on February 22nd to the 24th. We do have a couple of these, so can I motion to vote for all of these once? Diane?
They're identified individually, so I would recommend that you
Vote individually.
vote
Okay.
individually and take your discussion and and your vote.
Will do. Okay, so item 10.4, can I get a motion?
I motion to approve the conference. 10.4.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Student Rep Welker.
Yes.
President Flores.
Yes.
Vice President Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Colon.
Yes.
Trustee Donaire.
Yes.
Trustee Mendez.
Yes.
Trustee Rico.
yes.
Trustee Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Item 10.5, approval of expenditure for Stockton Unified School District board members to attend the 2023 California Association of Bilingual Education, known as CABE, conference in Long Beach, California on March 22nd to the 25th, 2023. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion.
Second,
Roll call vote.
Student Rep Welker.
Yes.
President, I'm sorry, President, is there any discussion?
Oh, any discussion?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So to this conference, it's including for parents too, right?
Yeah, I think they'll be on a separate item for them to go. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, roll call vote. Sorry.
President Flores.
Yes.
Vice President Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Colon,
Yes.
Trustee Donaire,
Yes.
Trustee Mendez.
Yes.
Trustee Rico.
Yes.
Trustee Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Item 10.6, approval expenditure for Stark Unified School District Board members to attend the 2023 National School Boards Association Annual Conference and Exposition in Orlando, Florida on April 1st through the 3rd, 2023. Can I get a motion?
I
Stevens
will make the
motion.
motion.
Second Stevens.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Student Rep Welker,
Yes.
President Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Colon,
Yes.
Trustee Donaire,
Yes.
Trustee Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Rico.
Yeah.
Trustee Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Moving on to item 10.7, approval to reschedule the Stockton Unified School District Special Board Retreat for Saturday, March 4th, 2023. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion.
Second Stevens.
Any discussion? Go ahead.
So it'll be like on the weekend, right?
Yes. So what we usually do when we get, like every so often, we do a board retreat. And that's for us to get together so that we can talk about goals of the district. Also maybe relearning our roles and responsibilities as a board member. It's not usually like this. It's more like in a smaller setting. Public can attend. They usually don't, because it's just like a business being held in public, a meeting being held in public.
Okay,
But
thank you.
can she join us?
Yes, she
Yeah.
could. It's
She could join us in the
it's like
meeting
a
and
workshop.
and participate too? Yeah, workshop, yeah, okay. So
Thank you.
yeah. And it's being rescheduled just for public transparency because the original date that we had was on a conflicting date with another conference, and so that's why we had to reschedule it to this day. Okay. Roll call vote?
Student Rep Welker,
Yes.
President,
Yes.
Vice President Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Colon,
Yes.
Trustee Donaire,
Yes.
Trustee Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, moving on to item 10.8, approval to reschedule designation of board meeting dates scheduled for March 14th, March 28th, April 11th, and April 25th. And that's because, again, we're rescheduling these meeting dates again is because they're conflicting with other conferences or other events that we have during that time. And so we're looking at the calendar to make sure that we don't have any conflicting items happening during our board meetings. So that's why that's being changed like that. So no shenanigans, just meeting the calendar. A roll call vote, please.
Need a motion.
Motion,
A motion Stevens.
second, Flores. Roll call vote. Oh, no discussion? No discussion? Roll call vote.
Student Rep Welker,
Yes.
President Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Colon,
Yes.
Trustee Donaire,
Yes.
Trustee Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Rico,
I'm staying.
Trustee Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 with Trustee Rico abstaining. Thank you.
Moving on to item 10.9, approval to reopen the issuance for requests for proposals, the RFP, to recruit a permanent superintendent. Can I get a motion?
Motion Stevens.
Second, Flores. Any discussion?
I have a question. I don't really know what that means, so can you just explain it to me, please?
So what we're doing is we're just voting in public to let the community know that we are going to be issuing an RFP process, which means we put out a notice for superintendent search firms to help us find a superintendent. And this is just opening up the door for them to say, we got an opening, come fill in applications to help us find a superintendent.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
No discussion? Okay, roll call vote.
Student Rep Welker,
Yes.
President Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Colon,
Yes.
Trustee Donaire,
Yes.
Trustee Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, moving on to 11.1, superintendent's report.
All right, thank you all for hanging in there on this special board meeting. I will say last week was one for the books with weather-related issues. I know this was already said a second ago, but I do want to say thank you to all the employees who were the boots on the ground, helping get our schools cleaned up from the storms. We had an amazing group of folks who responded late at night, early morning, and on the weekends to assist our district. Thank you again. While I cannot promise what Mother Nature has in store for us in the future, I can tell you that our team of dedicated folks will be ready to assist. As I stated in the last board meeting, I'm confident that we will keep our focus on student learning and achievement so that the transformative work can continue in our district. In an attempt to maintain our focus on student learning and achievement, I am very happy to report to our board that the amazing work done in our research department under Dr. Ramirez and Dr. Murphy's leadership, we have created a special dashboard for all board members to view their school's most recent student learning and achievement data, right? With such things as graduation rates, A to G, FAFSA completion, iReady data, chronic absenteeism, student engagement data, the list goes on. So, and it will be in real time. So this new dashboard will be coming to board members in a couple of weeks, along with video training by Dr. Murphy to help navigate the data. So I just want to shout out Dr. Murphy and your teams. Dr. Ramirez, thank you so much for making this. Wait till you see it. It's going to rock you. So as mentioned before, we are continuing with our monthly community conversations where it is a really meaningful evening where we're able to engage with our community, our school community. So looking forward to Area 2 coming up this month. And then lastly, I do want to just give out another staff acknowledgement to Tammy Reynolds and the folks, our payroll manager and her folks in that department. I don't know if many of you are aware, but they are behind the scenes, often working late nights, weekends, during breaks to make sure that our employees get paid on time. So I just want to again give a shout out to the payroll department. So if y'all see them tomorrow, tell them great job. Thank you.
Item 11.2, approval of an amended agreement to furnish consultant services with Tri Group Inc. for the Human Resources Department. Can I get a motion?
We'll make the motion.
I'll second. Discussion?
I do. So what does the plan look like going forward with HR? So we know we have the consultant coming in to provide support. What's the plan to stabilize the department?
So thank you for that. There's a couple of gentlemen, folks that spoke a little while ago in a public session or open, what am I trying to say? Open comment, there we go. It is very difficult in the middle of the year to actively recruit assistant superintendents of HR because people are under contract. So we are actively recruiting. It's about springtime. There's a season. February, March is when people are starting to look for positions, people retire, people relocate. So we are, again, actively recruiting, actively looking to fill that position. I don't want to bring consultant in this case to the district. That is the last thing that I want to do. I want to get people in those positions so that we don't need to have outside folks. But right now we're not at that where we need the assistance. So we are, the plan is to get these positions filled and get qualified, experienced folks that are able to, who have a working knowledge of HR, the laws, labor code, all those things that go with that. And in the meantime, the work still needs to continue, right? We still need to hire folks. We still need to do labor relations. We still need to do negotiations. We still have to go forward. And we want to make sure that we have the folks that are in the department getting the most current, up-to-date advice and coaching from the experts in the industry. And so that the plan is to get, to get positions filled so that we are not relying on consultants. And if and when, I'm not going to say if, because we're going to say when we get this position filled, if it is before, April, before March, then we don't need to continue with tri-group, right? Because we have the folks, but right now we do not have that.
And then the agreement is also, we only pay for what we use, correct? And anything that we don't use, the money, well, we just don't pay them.
That is correct. We don't pay for anything that we yes, that is correct.
And we were originally reluctant, being honest, right? We were reluctant to go with the consultant group. And so we asked, what can we do? We know we need help. We know we can't fill these positions right now. So what can we do? What are you bringing to us? And so that's why you noticed good eyes on catching the amount of the contract, which was lowered, right? We're like, no, we're not going to pay that much. We're not rich. We're in a budget crisis right now. And so they brought that back. And then we also wanted to make sure, like, if we don't use you, do we have to pay you? And so we wanted to make sure that that was there. So we placed the precautions in place. We are aware of the scrutiny that comes along with this contract. And like I said, we are up here making tough decisions, but we want to make sure that we're also meeting the staff needs so that we're not crippled, right, within our departments. And so we will do our best to diligently use our resources as needed only. Okay, roll call vote.
Student Rep Welker,
Yes.
President Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Stevens,
Yes.
Clerk Golon,
Yes.
Trustee Donaire,
Yes.
Trustee Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Zulueta.
No.
Motion passes 6-1 with Trustee Zulueta voting no. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item 12.1, adoption of resolution number 22-49, proclaiming February 23 as National Career and Technical Education Month. Any discussion? Or can I get a motion?
Make the motion.
I second.
Any discussion? Nate, I plan to see a lot of CTE emails going on, and I know Jane Frederick will be included in that. All right, roll call vote.
Student Rep Welker,
Yes.
President Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Stevens,
Yes.
Clerk Golon,
Yes.
Trustee Donaire,
Yes.
Trustee Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, moving on to item 12.2, approval of non-public agency master contract with Maxim Healthcare Staffing Services, Inc. for the Special Education Department for the 22-23 school year. Can I get a motion?
I will make the motion.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, I have to disclose that I have a close or immediate family member that is that works for Maxim. So I'm gonna go ahead and just move away and come back after.
You have to leave. I think you just have to recuse yourself, right? Or does she have
Well,
to?
yeah, I'm gonna recuse myself and just follow best practice by
and
leaving the
leave?
room.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I'm just confused on what it is. If you could just explain it to me.
Who's got this one item on the agenda? Maxim, who's got a Maxim on the agenda? Okay, he's gonna come up and he's gonna
Our
explain.
executive director will come. Thank you.
Woohoo, I like you.
So good evening, trustees, and I'm here to answer your questions.
So she doesn't understand. Yeah, overview.
Oh, okay. So this contract is for a service for physical therapy. And so we have approximately 85 students within our school district who receive physical therapy through an IEP process to help them receive educational benefit. At this point, we have a vacancy that we're unable to fill as a full-time employee of the district. So we need to contract out because we're mandated to provide these services. And so we were able to locate a physical therapist through this company.
Thank you.
Do you know what an IEP is? Okay. IEP is an individual educational plan. And what that does is it allows parents to meet with school site staff to discuss the needs of their students. So for example, students who have maybe ADHD, right? I'm just going to use that one because that's kind of common, right? So they can't sit still in class. They need special circumstances to help them maintain attention in the classroom. So the principal, the counselor, special ed or special program specialist, and anybody else that's needed in that meeting, it could be a family advocate as well. They sit together in a room and they talk about a plan on how they're going to address the needs for the student. So Johnny can't sit still for longer than an hour. So the teacher will give Johnny 10 minutes to stand up in the back of the class, for example. And, there's parameters around that, right? And so he has to stay after school to do extra work. So the teacher will be there, or he has to come in a few minutes early or sit at a certain place at lunch, just a plan like that for students. So physical therapy is a requirement for our students, and we have to provide that for them is one of the requirements.
Okay, thank you.
Did I do a good job? Understand?
Yeah,
Okay.
you did great.
Roll call vote.
Student Rep Welker,
Yes.
President Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Stevens,
Yes.
Trustee Donaire,
Yes.
Trustee Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 with Trustee Colon recusing herself. Thank you.
Paging Trustee Cologne. Okay, Tracy's gonna go try to find her. Moving on to item 13.1, adopt the district's initial proposal to Stockton Teachers Association for 2022 to 2025 successor negotiations, and to authorize the district's negotiation team to proceed with negotiations. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion.
I'll second. Discussion, or do we have any presentations? Is Felice, do you want to add anything? Nope.
I have
We'll
a
wait
question.
for Tracy. Go ahead, ask away.
What is the proposal, if I may ask?
Felice? We have a student rep asking what a proposal is.
Well, I'm happy to speak, but technically, this is the district's proposal. So when we go to negotiations, both sides have to sunshine what they are going to discuss in negotiations. So at the last board meeting, we each proposed in public hearing, and per board policy, the district has to come back a second time for the board to approve theirs.
Wendy, since Tracy stepped out, is there any information that you can give us on this?
I want to thank Felice. She was absolutely correct. That at our last board meeting, there was a public hearing. There were no comments. And so now we're just asking the board to approve so that we can enter into negotiations.
The public wasn't able to hear you, Wendy. Can you say that again?
Testing, is it working? It is now? Okay, so just confirming again, thanking STA President. Really close. I think this one is low. I think we've got an issue. So confirming, thank you. Confirming that STA President Felice was correct in how she was explaining this particular item. At our last board meeting, we entered into a public hearing in regarding our district proposals, our sunshining items. There were no public comments, and now we're asking for the board to take action to approve for us to enter into negotiations.
Just a question, Wendy, as well. So how will Tri-Group support the negotiation process, or will they at all?
Absolutely. We have multiple people through Tri-Group that support us. We do have experts in negotiation and in regards to our board policies, making sure that we're following all those. And we consult with them. We run things through them to make sure we're taking correct action. So this is specifically an area that they do assist us in.
Okay, roll call vote.
Student Rep Welker,
Yes.
President Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Stevens,
Yes.
Clerk Colon,
Yes.
Trustee Donaire,
Yes.
Trustee Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
We're almost to the end. Item 14.1, adoption of resolution number 22-64, approving the CEQA notice of exemption for the Van Buren Playground Shade Structure Project and associated site work. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion?
I'll second.
Discussion? Can you guys just include me when this construction is happening so I can come along and watch it as it goes? Van Buren is my school site. So whoever is handling that, please, thanks. Roll call vote.
Student Rep Welker,
Yes.
President Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Colon,
Yes.
Trustee Donaire,
Yes.
Trustee Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay. Item 14.2, approval of change order number 2 and amendment number 3 to the leaseback contract with S&B James Construction, California, Inc. for the Arthur Coleman Jr. Administration Complex Renovation Project. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion?
I'll
Second.
second.
Okay, so discussion. We should be having discussion in public, right? So there's some confusion because when we were going over the agenda, Joanne is here. She's going to help us explain. Those who know Trustee Flores, I'm very, very cautious of the contracts that we receive. And so what I asked was, because of the dysfunction in how we handled contracts before, I wanted to double check and make sure that, are we stuck with this contractor? Or can we choose a different contractor? Is this a different project that we're working on? Are they already on this project? And so my trust in this contractor is very, very low. And so that's why what we're going to do is we're going to look, Joanne is going to look into and see if we're stuck in this contract, what are our legalities, and what can we do moving forward. Got it, everybody? Okay, Joanne, did you want to add to that?
I'm looking into it. This was one that was approved before. It's for this building. And after the weather, I really understand why we need it. Some of the windows need to be sealed correctly. So this is part of that. We just need to adjust it because it should have been 10, not 5% that we approved in September.
And so then I should correct my statement, and that means projects anywhere else aside from what we're already obligated to.
Yes, the one we were speaking about was a different site.
Okay, any other discussions?
Yes,
So I just-
microphone. Thank you, Joanne, and thank you for answering me every time, then I send an email. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for doing a good job.
Trustee Colon?
I just want to clarify then, this is a contract that we're obligated, we're already agreed and there's no changing it.
Yes, we are in this one. This one is to finish the building.
Okay, roll call vote.
Student Rep Welker,
Yes.
President Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Stevens,
Yes.
Clerk Colon,
Yes.
Trustee Donaire,
Yes.
Trustee Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Item 15.1, student expulsions. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion?
Second, Stevens?
Discussion? No discussion, roll call vote.
Student Rep Welker,
Yes.
President Flores,
Abstain.
Vice President Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Colon,
Yes.
Trustee Donaire,
Abstain.
Trustee Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Rico,
I'm staying.
Trustee Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0 with trustees Flores, Donaire, and Rico abstaining.
We made it to the end. So we put as much as we can on this agenda so that we wouldn't have a long agenda meeting next week, but I can't make any promises. So meeting is adjourned at 8:36. Thank you all. Have a good evening.